being around people that are way more successful than us, most of the reason they're successful is just because they're really freaking good people. Like that narrative of rich people are evil or they got their money off of somebody else's hard work. Like that's just not true. So financial freedom now, life after financial freedom. So this is going to be fun. We're going to talk a little bit about just some of the things that go along with creating financial freedom.
So independence is where, you're not quite to the point where you can just live off your investments. And Sam will get into what that is here in a second, but you're not reliant on an employer or some other external factor to pay you. You can go out there and generate your own income in some way, shape, or form. Solopreneur, maybe even like a 1099 consultant. You just go and hustling, making stuff happen, making sales and working when you want and creating as much money as you want, pretty much, based on how efficient and how hard you work. So you control your income in a way.
Yeah, I love it. So that's the independence part. The freedom part is you just take the last word, right? So the freedom is, I think people have a little bit different definition, Lucas, but I think we have the same one. It's when your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses. And I'm talking like normal monthly expenses, like your groceries, and you're going on a couple of vacations a year, and car payment if you have any, and your house payment if you have any. All right, so let's talk about financial freedom, Lucas. So now that you're financially free, what are some things you don't do anymore? And I think this is prompted by Tyler and Shane talking about you. What don't you do anymore what haven't you been inside of for the last couple of years?
What haven't I been inside of?
Grocery store?
Okay.
See, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I guess Shane's like, Tyler was like blown away that you haven't been in a grocery store in a couple of years, and that's because you're financially free.
Yeah, we Instacart pretty heavy at our house. We've got to a point where we value our time more than we do the money.
Because the money's there.
Because the money's there. We couldn't do that when the money's not there. We had to pinch pennies for a long time to be able to live frugally and build the business the way that we wanted to. So it starts to generate way more income that it doesn't matter. Go to a grocery store is one. Cut my own grass is one of them. Do my own laundry.
I haven't cut my own grass in probably 5 years.
Yeah. So I pay for grass service, laundry, and grocery store. And if I looked at that on a weekly basis, that probably saves me 5 hours a week.
It's probably costs you about $500 a week, but still.
Yeah. But I'll take that $100.
Maybe not 500, but
$100 an hour all day.
Yeah. I don't do we have a laundry service as well. One of my favorite things in the world is to go to the grocery store. So own your freedom. One of the stories in there that's real is I hired somebody to cut my grass, and it probably wasn't the first time they cut it, but the second or third time they were cutting it, and I went to the pool and I filmed a TikTok that got 100,000 views, and that was really oh my gosh, maybe social media, it was one of my more viral initial posts. And I mean, obviously probably would have got there anyway, maybe if I was cutting my own grass, but maybe not as quickly. It just showed me as a good example of you're buying your time to a certain degree by having somebody else do it, and you can use that time to relax or build a business or do whatever you want. You have that freedom, hence the freedom part of it. So I look at it as kind of being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want.
Exactly.
So things you don't do anymore, Walls, you don't do what you don't like to do.
Yeah. Another thing that really doesn't buy back my time too much, but
Thanks to York for the little audible.
When I was living, paycheck to paycheck, I budgeted very hard. I created a budget and I tracked that budget.
Yep.
I have a general guideline of our budget now, but I don't budget as hard or at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. So I think this is interesting. I know some people, and I don't think it's a bad thing, even if you make a ton of money. They're like, I check my bank account every morning, to get my day going so I know where my finances are. I log into my banking app probably twice a month, maybe. So I don't track that, or I kept a budget right away. I was fortunate enough to do pretty good at my corporate job quickly, but right away when I wasn't, I remember budgeting. I had my dad email me his budget and how to do it or whatever. I hated it. Then started to make a little more money, and I don't budget a ton. We don't spend too much money on frivolous stuff, maybe a little more than you, but still not a ton. So it's nice not to be able to budget. I agree with that one. So what are things that you do now that you didn't used to do?
Things I do now, well, all the things I don't do, I have time to do stuff. Wow, why don't you go first on that one? What are some things you do now?
Well, that's part of it. I just am we're able to be a little bit freer with things. I don't I think you told me you had a little thing with Ashley for a while where go do whatever, but if it's over $100, let's chat or something like that. Those kind of guidelines of what to spend or who to spend or budget things. We don't have that, so you kind of do what you want to do to a certain degree. We don't make that much money where we were F you money, we can do whatever we want, and my bank account would run out very quickly if I was irresponsible. It's not it's that much money, but
same.
Living normally, we
live pretty frugally. Like, we have a nice house and outsourced laundry and all this stuff, but we go to work, we come back, we hang out at the house. We don't go on elaborate vacations. We don't spend a lot of money. It gives us the freedom to, whenever we do want to spend money, like on a beach house or a pool.
Another thing we're able to do is give more. Like, I feel like with our nonprofit Greater Giving, we donate a percentages of our monthly profit every single month. So every month we're donating money because we can. And then we also raise money in each of the charity events. I always buy auction items and don't think about it. I think I spent $500 for a party at Dustin Shelley's pool at the Greater Giving golf tournament.
For free.
I don't even think they know, but anyways. But yeah, so it's nice to be able to give a little bit more. All right, how has your view of the world changed, Lucas?
How has the view on the world changed? It's a good question. I wouldn't say much.
Okay.
I view the world pretty positively, if you could.
Yes, you do. It's obnoxious sometimes, but overall, I like it.
I do live in a bubble of, O'Fallon, Missouri.
Yes, nice area to live.
And just surrounded by amazing people all the time. So
sounds like you're pretty lucky.
I'm a very lucky guy. And I know bad shit happens in the world, but you couldn't have great stuff without being evil. It would just all be the same. And also we see the bad stuff through like news channels, if you watch the news, which I don't. So I don't know. It's hard to tell and feel that.
I get it's hard for you to get deep here. I get it. That's not one of your strong suits. We talked about that at length.
Ding.
Got it. So yeah, I wouldn't say a ton of my worldview has changed. A little bit. Like, I wasn't on the extremes, but I didn't like rich people were evil like some people think, but a little bit maybe, like they got their money somehow being like screwing over people or that a little bit maybe to a certain degree. And now being around people that are way more successful than us, most of the reason they're successful is just because they're really freaking good people. All right, how has your money habits changed?
Anyway, I would just say like my financial barometer has changed. Like, as we continue to make a bigger impact, make more money, it doesn't seem like that much money to me, which is a good thing. I think continuing to raise our financial barometer to allow our businesses to grow along with that, I think is going to be very important here for us, because you get to a point where like, oh, you're making this a month, like I can do whatever I want. It's not about that anymore. But in order for our businesses to continue to grow, we have to grow as people as well. So especially on the financial barometer side of things.
All right, so what are some pieces of advice to becoming financially free, Walls?
So I used to try to squeeze and hold on to money as tight as possible and not try to spend something, and just kind of, this came with making more money obviously, but I think it was just a cycle, as money is meant to flow. Correct. It's not meant to sit somewhere. So utilizing that money to make other investments in your team or an asset or infrastructure, whatever it is, I just thoroughly believe in that now. And the money you spend is going to come back to you. Just the universal law of money, I really believe in, and I didn't really feel that way when I didn't have a lot of it.
What do you have for your money or financial freedom advice?
Ooh, advice. Track your net worth. Like, when I first started tracking my net worth, it was negative.
Okay.
And then I learned what assets and liabilities were. And as we built up our assets, I would track that, and I would just make a game. Like, I'm going to try to get to 100K net worth by this time, and I would go buy enough assets to support that, and then 500K, million, whatever it is. And tracking that just made me hyper focused on it. And then understanding your balance sheet and net worth is going to lead to that freedom at some point. If you have a whole bunch of assets and equity in assets, the definition of an asset is that it's going to put money in your pocket. Step 2, let's say, come up with a budget. Figure out what your financial freedom number is, so you have a target that you're able to back into. Then you know how many assets that you need to pay for your lifestyle.
So I have track your net worth, step 1. Step 2, figure out financial freedom number. Step 3, buy assets. And step 4 is manage those assets. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend, because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.